smile, Anthony. Give Daddy a big smile. Said the night when to the little sky. Do you see what I see? Oh. The sky.
Shepherd boy to the mighty king. Do you know what I know? In your palace warm, mighty king. Do you know what I know? A child, shivers in the cold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Let us bring him silver and gold.
Good morning, subscribers. Sorry it took a while to, excuse me, I should be more, oh, here we go. Sorry it took a while to get episode 4 out. I've been busy, the football over the weekend. It was Labor Day weekend. I had a crazy stalker that I took care of. Shouldn't be a problem anymore. If you're watching this, just, it's been taken care of. But that's not about this. This is about episode 4. I hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. It's funny, my neighbors, I think they think that I'm a little off my rocker. Oh, by the way, yes, the Santa hat, and I'm kind of like Christmassy right now because episode 4, I'm all over the place again. Episode 4 deals at Christmas time, the year 1987. So I will get into it in a little while. I just want to say my neighbors think I'm a little crazy because, I got my deck set up where, I got my TV, that's a normal thing, but I got like a whole, jungle gym out here, like, I look like I'm a convict in jail. This is MobTube or whatever. That, I work that out here with my shirt off, like I'm doing time and stuff. And that's what I think, like I'm doing time. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't really go out much, my son, and, I'm sexy flexy, but I don't really live an exciting life. You know what I mean? I work out here like I'm planning for my next vacation or whatever. Well, the next girl I meet, I'll be, I'm doing time until I get some fun time. So I work out here every day, and it's funny, and they look at me like I'm nuts, and now I got this Santa hat on. And I was wearing it yesterday, breaking my kid's balls. He's 13, he's like, Daddy, I don't know, maybe you should go back to the doctor and see if that medication is not working, So we were laughing and stuff. It was funny, silly stuff, but they're funny because they're right next to me. The one to the right, it's funny because he's got the Winnebago, so it looks like, a certain individual that we love to eat on Friday nights. I'm not mentioning no more drama, but a certain individual that goes by one of the greatest foods of all time. There's a Winnebago to my right, so that's funny, you know what I mean, and everything. And then behind me, there's an older couple, and the funny thing about these people, subscribers, they gotta be in there. I don't want to say 80s, I gotta say late 60s to early to mid 70s. Now let me tell you, subscribers, there's been many nights out here, even my son's been out here. Holy moly, the smell of the devil's lettuce. We all know what the devil's lettuce is, right? No offense for those who like to toke up, including the all-American hero Stone Sailor. I understand that. Some people love it, but it's not for me. But boy, I'll be sitting out here on some nights on this deck, and I think I get a contact high. I don't like that feeling. So the point is that they're older people, and they like to They like to get high, but they think I'm crazy too because they're always saying like, who are you talking to, and you're yelling and stuff. I'm like, I'm a content creator on YouTube, and I make videos and stuff like that. Oh, that's how many subscribers do you got? I'm close to a couple of million. Wow, God, holy, you must be rich. I said, I do all right, I'm rich. So I tell them, like, share, and subscribe to FGF Productions. Yeah, I'll check it out, So if I be checked it out, and if you're watching, you guys like to hit it hard, man. But God bless you to your age. Have a good time. All right, episode 4. Has it been 4 weeks? Wow, crazy. 4 weeks I've been doing this, and also the summer's over and everything, and hope everybody had a great summer. Boy, it goes fast. If you think about it, my mom always says, if you think about the summer, it's only 2 months. You know that? Like, we always remember being young and how summers lasted forever, and, the old days of August. It's only 2 months, and as you get older, it flies by. And this summer flew by, especially with the YouTube and the football, and I went on a cruise. I can't believe that cruise was in the beginning of the summer, the heart of the summer, and that was, Conway. Wow, scary. Well, anyway, episode 4. We're at Financial Center, Building C, American Express Tower. Christmas time, the year 19. Christmas time, like I said, the year 1987. Now, back in those days, it's funny because when you were young, I was 19 years old. And, I think about how Christmas was the best back then. You know what I mean? Even when I was a little kid, for those older subscribers, right? Do you remember, like you say, you talk about how fast the summer goes. When you were a kid, right? The summer feels like it's years. You know what I mean? And then when the summer's over and you can't wait for Christmas when you were a kid, right? And how long it felt from when school started, the Christmas time felt like 10 years, when you were younger. And for everybody that remembers that's my age. Like I said, I'll be 57 on my birthday. Is of course the day after Christmas. I've stated that. Do you remember when you used to get the in the mail the Sears Wish Book? The Christmas edition book. It was like this thick. The size of a telephone book. And I remember going through there and making my Christmas list and looking at all the stuff in there, the toys and everything. And it was just like, those days were like the best. And I'm sure people remember that, the Christmas Wish Book from Sears. Sears was back in the day, Sears was like Amazon, before internet and all that. Sears was the place that everybody got everything at. Sears. Sears was like the mega store. It was the number one store probably in the world at the time, and they really blew it. Once again, I'm all over the place. They blew it because they were supposed to be Amazon. They were offered to go really big, and they turned it down because I don't think they had the servers or the equipment or whatever the high-tech shit would be, and they turned it down. And it's sad that they're gone now. When I take my kid to the malls, it's so sad too with the malls. Amazon's knocking everything out. And when you go like this one big mall for the Jersey people, the Monmouth Mall, boy, that was, when I was a kid, that was the mall. That was the spot to be, man. You know what I mean? It was like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, that mall. That Fast Time at Ridgemont High, that's exactly how I was in the 9th grade, 8th grade. That movie was dead on. You know what I mean? That movie was based basically on the type of way I grew up with the malls and shit. It absolutely the same exact way. And it's sad when that mall is now closed down. So we got the Freehold Mall, the Menlo Park Mall, and the Woodbridge Mall. That's all we got in my local area. And when I go to the Freehold Mall, the Woodbridge Mall, because they got Dick's. And my son, Jesus Christ, he loved Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh my God, the money I spent in there. But there's like a Sears in there. I took a picture of it. I should put it on YouTube. It is the old sign all rusted. boarded up with lock and chains, and I remember going in there, and that's where you bought everything. That's where I went, back to school shopping when I would go back to school. It was Sears, that's where you went and got, that's where I bought my tools. Shout out to my boy Dave Gass. He got his first toolbox at Sears. I got my first toolbox at Sears. I used to go, as I got older, you go into Sears, you knew where everything was. I go buy my work clothes. I go buy my electronics. I go buy my, sporting goods, everything, And it's just sad how it's just Amazon, 10, 15, 20 years, subscribers, there ain't going to be no more stores. There isn't going to be no more stores. It's going to be just, you're going to shop on Amazon. They even got doctors now. It's scary. That's why this world is, these kids are being raised so antisocial. It's not a joint, just a cigarette. That's why these young kids are just so antisocial, because they don't talk to each other. It's just sad. I mean, I not to sound like I'm 90 fucking years old or get off my lawn, but I'm becoming my grandfather, may rest in peace, where I feel like I'm from a different world. I remember my grandfather would say stuff when I was a kid. Oh, this world ain't the same, and I'm like, this ain't the world I came from, man. I came from a different planet, I feel sometimes. Well, anyway, let me get on with this thing. I want to try to keep it, my normal 30, maybe 35 minutes. And we go on to episode 5. But episode 4, subscribers. So it's Christmas time in the city. And the city, back then, even to this day, but I don't go anymore, it was so beautiful. They go all out, man. Anybody that's been to Manhattan at Christmas time, there ain't not like it. You feel like you're in a winter wonderland. It's absolutely beautiful, So here I am, it's funny. It's Christmas time on my job, like I said, I started, this is episode 4. I started in April, and, all the stuff I went through, and I almost quit at lunch. And then I started getting cocky and everything, and stuff. The last episode, I'm starting to dress better, and everything. And, I'm moving up the ranks. I feel in my head, I'm a legend in my own mind. It's getting to my head, and everything. I'm, talking to girls in the building and everything. But at that time, I didn't really start to, well, I did pick up the one girl, the Fonny girl or whatever. Now, keep in mind now, I don't like to talk about her, may she rest in peace. I don't like to, but, she's part of this story because, she was my girlfriend at the time, and, I'm not proud of what I did, because when I started working there, I started getting, all my friends saw the change in me, because all I did was hang out in the city. Sometimes I would never even come home. I would stay overnight in hotels. My mom and dad were like, this is really fucking getting to your head. So we were, fighting at the time and everything because, she knew she wasn't a stupid girl. She was very, I was 19, she was 18. She had just turned 18, that summer, and I was 19, and I would be 20 the day after Christmas in '87. So I was about a year and a half older than her. And she was a very smart girl, for her age. Not, you think about these young girls today, oh, my nails and this and that, you know what I mean? And they're on their phones. She was beyond her years. She was very, very smart, very, very mature, very, very classy, the best, the best. And if she didn't, go to heaven, I would have been married to her without a doubt. I probably would have, changed my ways, I'm sure. Who knows? Maybe I wouldn't have. I don't know. But she kept me grounded for the most part. But when you start, when you work in that city, it does corrupt you. You start, partying harder. And like I said, I'm making the money. I'm making the, going from the $3.35 an hour to the 15 was absolutely, crazy. So anyway, it's Christmas time, 1987, and what happens is all the office administration, personnel, and general foremans and foremen, some foremans higher up, definitely the general foremans of the jobs of the company, of all the construction jobs, some sub, definitely the number two guys, the underbosses or whatever, the number two guys, the sub foremans. Not too many area foremans were invited. I couldn't believe, you got to remember now, this is all new to me, so I couldn't believe the type of party that I was about to, get into. And I remember Joe, the foreman, telling me, like, listen to me, this is a black tie affair. I know you're an idiot from Jersey and you just started working here, it's your first year, and everything, but let me tell you something. You have to dress, it's a black tie affair. I'm like, you gotta wear a black tie? What's a black tie affair? Frankie. I don't know what to do with you. I don't know where you came from, but you're an idiot, I'm like, what do I got to do? He's like, you got to wear a tuxedo. You know what a tuxedo is, you moron? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I know what a tuxedo is. Did you go to your prom? Did you wear a tuxedo to your prom? I'm like, nah, I didn't go to my prom, Joe. He's like, figures. Who the hell would go to a prom with you idiot? Oh, God, did I love that man. Loved him like a father. So he tells me I got to, get a tuxedo and everything. So now I said, can I bring my girlfriend? You know what I mean? Yeah, Frankie. And make sure she dresses nice, too. Don't be coming there like a bimbo. Are you dating a bimbo? I said, no, Joe. Matter of fact, she's you're going to like her. She's very mature for her age. She's very pretty. She's a great person. Man, going out with you? She must be fucking stupid or something. I'm like, it breaks my balls. The man loved me like a son, too. But, there'll be stories I tell you what he did for me that a father would do for a son, the things he did for me. No, I said, no, she's a very good girl. I said to him, I don't know what she's doing with me because I am, I'm out there, but she keeps me grinding. He's like, that's good, Frankie. All right, well, she has to dress nice, too. Does she not dress? Does she have style about her? I said, yeah, she definitely, knows how to dress and everything. So what it is he tells me where it's at, invitation only, you get the invitation, from when they give you your paycheck. It's at the Sheraton Hotel Ballroom on 7th Avenue in Manhattan. Now, the Sheraton Hotel, for those familiar with New York or not, that's one of the, at the time, I think it's still pretty popular, one of the, the nicest hotels and in the best area to do anything with tourism in all of New York City history. It's the Sheraton Hotel. It's still there. I don't know if it's as popular as it once was back in the day. At the time, in the 80s, it was like the Waldorf Astoria. It was top notch. I gotta quit smoking, subscribers. My son's breaking my balls, and I got a little bit of a sore throat and a little bit of coming down with something. But took some Tylenol, I'll be fine. So if I sound a little nasally, it's from that. So like I said, it's at the ballroom of the Sheraton Hotel, 7th Avenue and 40th Street, something like that. The heart of the city, the heart of everything. So I tell my girlfriend about it, and I tell her, like, can you believe a year ago, Kathy, her name was Kathy, a year ago at this time, I was pushing carts in the supermarket, and then you would come to me, I would tell her to come, I would sell Christmas trees while I'm pushing carts during Christmas time. That all the, when you go and all the trees are outside, and what I'd do was I'd bring her, because she was very attractive girl, you know what I mean? She looked like Marilyn Monroe, that's why she's the reason that I love Marilyn Monroe, and I love, she was a Midwestern girl. She had moved from Saginaw, Michigan to New Jersey when she was younger. I forget why she moved, I don't know, from Saginaw, Michigan to New Jersey. I think because her father was in he was like a salesman or something, I forget. So I think they moved there because his company moved. But yeah, so she had that Midwestern twang. She would say, Frank, Frankie, it was friggin' awesome, And she had the blonde hair, the greenish. They were like green with a little bit of blue tint, like you know, very, complexion. And then when, she can, a lot of girls, women, they can't wear red lipstick. You need a certain type of look to wear red lipstick. And if you put it on and you don't have that look, you look like a fool. You know what I mean? But she can rock red lipstick like no other girl I ever met in my life. So I said to her, you imagine, also I'd bring her to Pathmark. I did it at Pathmark to sell the Christmas tree. I said, come with your tight ski pants on, nice jacket, put your hair in a bun, put your red lipstick on, because it'll draw people to the, it'll draw guys and shit, to get a little eye candy so I could sell some trees, you know what I mean? Because of what I was doing was, they gave me, like, if a tree was, the trees went from like $10 to the most expensive was like $40. And that would be like the big giant fucking Rockefeller Center tree or whatever. It was all types of trees, So the more I sold, they would give me like a little bonus in my check. So I'd bring her there, to smile and talk to people and fucking, they'd buy trees and shit. She was, she was very helpful to me. But I'll never forget I'm all over the place again. I'm just trying to give a background of her. And, the freaking manager, Brian, I remember his name, Brian, this fucking nerd. He always broke my balls, this fucking guy. Hey, Brian, if you're watching, you probably still fucking work there. In fact, he did work there years later. The guy was like, he'd be like, Frankie, come over here for a minute. The fucking $9 an hour manager, real tough guy. He's like, Frankie, he's like probably 30. I was fucking, 18 then. So he comes over, he's like, you really shouldn't have your girlfriend on the job site. Because of insurance reasons like that. I'm like, bro. Don't call me bro. I'm your boss, Brian. You're my boss, Brian. Yeah, fucking Brian. Good career, Brian. I hope you're out there somewhere and you made it. Maybe you own Pathmarks, you're out of business now. Whatever. So he's like, you can't really have her. I said, Brian, she helps me sell trees because she's attractive. A lot of the guys are with their wives. They're fucking little eye candy and they buy the tree. You know what I mean? Come on, it's only helping the fucking company. I understand that, but she really shouldn't be here. Just please, you don't have to let her go home now, but tomorrow, don't bring her, whatever. I'm like, whatever, fucking Brian. I fucking brought her back the next day anyway. But the point was that, I'm telling her that you believe that here we are Christmas time selling Christmas trees, and now we're about to go to New York City, to the Sheraton Hotel, to the ballroom, to a Christmas party that I'm going to get to that I couldn't even believe existed, like, especially to, like I said, where I came from, you know what I mean? Like, this is absolutely, my father, what he did for me, man, he was even like, holy shit, Frankie, boy, did you step in shit, man. I just got your foot in the door. I didn't know you'd fucking, that door would be where that place was. He couldn't even believe it. It's just, he used to go, boy, oh boy, God is good, man. Did you get a good place to go? My God, I never even had that in my life, So I told her, what we're going to do. I said, this is what we're going to do, Kat. I used to call her Kat, right? Or I used to call her Sweetheart, or I used to call her Marilyn. Marilyn was the fun thing. So I told her, you got to do this for me, baby, She's like, what? I'm like, you got to dress like Marilyn Monroe. You got to do your hair. You got to wear the red dress. You got to wear the pearl necklace. You got to do that for me. She's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. She's like, that's a classy look, and everything. The only thing that she did do when the phone broke my balls, too, I'll get to it later. So she's like, yeah, I'll do that. That sounds like that's pretty cool. She's like, well, how are we going to get there, and everything. I'm like, I got some money, I'll make a good money. When do we get a limo? She's like, wow. She's like, I've never been in a limo. I said, neither have I. I didn't even know how to go about doing it, what I mean? I never was in a limo. She's like, yeah, because I don't want, because either we could take the bus there, but we're all dressed up nice. We're going to look like idiots on a bus, or the train, we'll look like idiots too. I said, why don't we just treat ourselves? I'm making good money, and everything, and we'll get like a nice limo, Little did I know, I'm about to tell you what it cost. I didn't even know this is, So she's like, yeah, that would be so much fun, I'm like, yeah. So it turns out that my best friend, who I got mad at for what he did for me. I mean, I got ripped off. My best friend at the time's father managed a limousine company, and we're still best friends to this day. As a matter of fact, he's coming over later to hang out. I've known him since the 7th grade. He's the guy. His name is Rob. He's my best friend. Like if I ever need anything, he knows all my darkest secrets. He could, blackmail me. He knows things that nobody knows in the world but him. Not even Kathy knew, or my son's mother, or anything. This dude is the guy I go to, and he knows everything I've ever done since the 7th grade. But he's very good to me, and we're like brothers. We're totally opposite. Here I'm older, but we're totally opposite. I'm, outgoing, the workout guy. I'm on YouTube. I talk a lot. I'm funny. He's more like that business type, straight shooter, and he's a fucking Dolphin fan, and I'm a Jet fan. So how this fucking relationship ever worked out? But it did. We break up, we've been going at it for a long fucking time, and he's gotten me, and I've gotten him. But that's fucking football. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, his father at the time was managing a limo company. So I'm like, wow, what a score. I'm like, he could hook me up, with the limo and probably give me a good price. Now, me like an idiot, I never asked what it cost. We'll get to that after, where I got pissed off, right? So, in a way, I didn't know what to do, and then it turns out his father manages a limo company. His father was kind of guy, like, always had different jobs. Like, he owned the gas station, then he drove rich people's cars to their house when they bought a car. Then he had the limo thing. Then he had a couple of bars, like one of those, like, great man or whatever, but just always like, never had that set career, always going from one thing to another. But he lived, I was always in his house. He lived a middle-class life and everything, had everything he needed. His mother was a sweetheart. His father was an awesome guy, So they get me the limo and everything. So I tell Kathy, I forget what night of the week it was. So we get the limo, and she's, dressed to the max. She wore like a red dress, just like the Marilyn thing that you see in the pictures or whatever. She curled her hair and everything, and I got pictures of it. I have a big photo album, but I'll never share that. I can't even look at it. I can't even. I remember cleaning my drawer a couple of years ago and finding stuff, and I can't look at it. Do I want to look at it because it's just, she was so beautiful and everything, but I can't even I should start crying right away. Anyway, so the limo driver picks me up at my house. She came to my house. She drove to my house. She didn't live too far away, so she met me in my house and everything. We took pictures with my mom and stuff, my dad. You guys look fucking amazing, and it's kind of cool because I never went to my prom. So it was kind of like my prom, you know what I mean? That's how I looked at it, you know what I mean? I was kind of upset I never went to my prom, but whatever, who gives a shit? I'm over it now. But this kind of like made up for it. So, we get in the limo driver opens the door. The thing, he stocked it with all types of drinks and everything, and stuff. You could smoke in the limo back then or whatever. So, we're back there. She's fucking stunning. The limo driver was even like, wow, you're, beautiful lady you are. I kind of like, bro, really? You know what I mean? Just keep your fucking mouth shut. But he was respectful, whatever. So we get in the limo, we're like, look at this cat. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? So, we're having a drink and everything and talking, laughing, bullshit. And you can't believe fucking, we're about to go. So now, we're in the back or whatever. We didn't do anything back there. She kind of was like, she's like, we should christen this thing. We never did it. I'm like, nah, you look too beautiful, and I don't want to fucking mess anything up on you and shit. She's like, all right, you know what I mean? Yeah. Believe me, I would have did it, but I'm like, you look like a fucking porcelain doll. I don't want to fuck anything up. So now we get there and everything. I don't know now. Keep in mind, I don't know what to expect. I do not know what to expect, right? So we get there, and then you go to the table. It's like a wedding. Your fucking name and your guest or whatever's on the thing. You get the card. You're at this table. I walk in this fucking place. I'm like, holy shit! Would you look at this cat? Holy shit! I felt like the fucking Wolf of Wall Street. Beautiful blonde on my arm. Fucking, the place was fucking Christmased out. I was like, I never went to a party in my fucking entire life. To this day, that looked like that place. It was friggin' gorgeous. Everybody dressed up in, you know, looked like penguins, you know, all fucking black tuxedos. I had that type of tuxedo on. She's like, you should get something different, maybe white or something. I'm like, it's black. It's a black tie affair, so I don't think fucking alert came on my phone. Fucking more bills come out than fucking money goes in. So I'm looking on the side. It came out this way. You know, so I wore, you know, your traditional black tuxedo like the penguin, you know, and she had the dress on. And we walk in there and I'm like, holy shit, look at this fucking place, right? So they got like a band playing music and everything, right? So, you know, we go get a drink, you know, I go over to Joe first, and I introduce her to Joe, and Joe stands up. He's like, nice to meet you, you know, like, and she, of course, she's got to break my balls. So, you're Frankie's girlfriend, he talks about. Are you crazy? What are you doing with a guy like this? But he laughed, and she laughed. I warned him, like, he's going to fucking destroy me and say stupid jokes and shit. You know, just don't get mad at him or everything. He's very good to me and everything. And I will go over how much the guy, like, you know, tell good things he did to me. I'm just doing the ball breaking thing because it's a year in, you know, the first year. You know, so she's laughing and everything. And she's even like, you know, thank you for being, you know, you didn't fire Frankie or whatever on the first day. Yeah, he's still on the fucking probation. Don't worry, Kathy, you know. So she, they were talking and everything. And then Mark Gottlieb, you know, met her. And, you know, he said nice things. You know, Frankie's a good, you know, you got a good guy right there. He's very humble. He's getting a little cocky now. She's like, I know, Mark. He thinks who he is, and if he keeps it up, this one's taking a walk. I'm like, no, don't do that to me, you know. So funny stuff like that, right? So we, we sit down, like, you know, and everything. The place is beautiful. We eat and everything, right? And then we did some dancing with the, they had like, you know, you're at your table, they'll come over and fucking, you know, sing by your table. Oh, I'm like, you know, top-notch food. I'm like, wow, this is fucking insane, man. Fucking insane, right? So now the funny part is, right, after about an hour of, the cocktail hour, and then we ate and everything, right? All of a sudden, you know, I'm drinking, I'm with Kat, we're fucking walking around, you know, talking to other people. Some of the wives were being, you know how women are. Some of the, you know, the wives of some of the foremen were like being real fucking bitchy. Because you gotta remember these people, most of them are in there, you know, at the time, 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, and I'm fucking 19, she's 18, so, you know, we're like the youngest people there practically. So, you know, she's looking fucking pretty hot, and, you know, and of course the husbands are gonna look and shit. So you see some of the wives being a little fucking bitchy, you know, towards her and everything, and she knew it too. She was like, fuck these fucking old bags and shit, you know. I'm like, you know what I mean? So it was funny like that. Some, you know, women can be catty and shit. But as the night's going on, right, this is the funny part, basically the whole story, you know. All of a sudden, you know, like I said, we're walking around, you know, talking bullshit, right? This particular band starts to play, right? And I'm like, me, which don't have the experience or been out there that much at that age, you know, all of a sudden, you know, I'm fucking hearing, under the boardwalk, down by the sea, under the boardwalk, right? That particular song, you know, and a few other ones. And I'm like, wow, they're a pretty good fucking cover band, Kat. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, wow, they're fucking amazing, right? Great cover band, you know, fucking playing the, you know. And then all of a sudden, Joe, Frankie, what cover band? Not to you, Kat. You're smart. I don't know about going out with him, but Frankie. That's the Drifters, Frankie. What cover band? We don't rock like that. This is the, you know, company. This is the Drifters. I'm like, the fucking Drifters? That's the real Drifters? Now, people know who the Drifters are. I mean, I guess they're a very popular band back in the day. You know, they had a lot of great fucking songs. So here I am thinking it's a cover band for the Drifters, and it's the fucking Drifters, really. I'm like, holy shit. And she couldn't believe it. She's like, my God. And once again, I'm like, could you believe this? Last year, we're selling Christmas trees. This year, we're at a fucking ballroom. You look like Marilyn Monroe. I'm all decked out like the Wolf of Wall fucking Street, which wasn't even around back then, but, you know, I didn't say that, but I'm thinking that. You know, now I think about it. And fucking, and the Drifters are playing live, fucking 10 feet away from us. I mean, you couldn't fucking, you couldn't, make it up. It was absolutely fucking stunning as these cigarettes can't light. So, we're at 28 minutes and 48 seconds left. So that was basically episode 4. You know, they got to meet my girlfriend. I got to go to a beautiful hotel ballroom. I got to see the Drifters and everything. You know, Christmas time, 1987. And, I should have started off with this. A week before the Christmas party, I had a little health scare. My first ever health scare. Ever. My first time to the hospital. My first time, other than like panic attacks and shit. My first real oh my God, I'm gonna die. And it was very, very weird and very, very scary. Me and Kat were fucking Christmas shopping at the Monmouth Mall, right? Christmas time, 1987, we were doing Christmas shopping, right? We go get pizza. We got bags, we're shopping. We go get pizza at the best pizza place in the mall. I forget the name of it, but it was like not that Sbarro shit. It was like a real good Italian pizza place, right? So we're eating pizza. We continue shopping. All of a sudden, I tell her that something ain't right. Like I got like a sharp pain in my stomach. She's like, maybe the food or something. She's like, I don't know. Stop being a baby. When I get like a fucking baby. So. I'm like, I don't know, Kat, I don't feel good. She's like, all right, we'll go home. She's like, calm down. You probably got a stomach ache, you fucking wimp. So we go, we go home and everything, right? I take her home to her house. I go to my house, right? All of a sudden, I'm starting to burn up and shit, I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? So I'm like, mommy, I don't know, feel my head. I think I got a fever. She's like, boy, you're hot, Frankie. My mom the old school way with your hand and shit. Don't even need a fucking thermometer. Oh, no, that is something ain't right. You're really hot, fucking burning up. So then I started getting hallucinating, Ma, I don't know what the fuck is going on, right? I thought I was gonna pass out. So she calls 911. Here come the paramedics and everything, and they take my blood pressure and everything, and they do my fever. I have 102 fever. 103 fucking fever. Like, oh, this is bad. They rushed me to the fucking hospital, right? And then I'm like, call Kat. I'm gonna die. I gotta see Kat before I die. Fucking, oh boy. My mom was like, Jesus Christ, right? So they take me to the hospital. They hook me up to all this shit and everything, right? Right away, it's a miracle thing. They hook me up to vitamin C. And they're fucking dosing me with vitamin C and shit. So my mom, calls Kat and everything. Oh my God, he's in the hospital, right? And she comes in, hold my hand, baby, hold my hand. She's like, will you fucking stop? I think I see things. She's like, cut the fucking shit out, you fucking wimp. You wimp motherfucker, right? But I was getting 102. It got up to 105. That's fucking scary shit. I could have fucking died. And I was there for 2 days. They ran all these fucking tests. $10,000 bill. This is my first hospital experience in 1987. And it turned out that they didn't know what the fuck it was. They just think it was some kind of fucking virus or some shit. No explanation for it. 105, you could die. But the vitamin C, was going through me, and that fucking lowered it. That vitamin C is fucking a miracle. Fucking whoever invented vitamin C, bro. That fucking shit's a miracle thing. So that's about it. Here I am, hold my hand, and then years later, something would happen to her, and, I look back on it, and she would even joke around like that with me, you remember when you were in the hospital, you thought you were dying? I'm like, oh, I don't even want to fucking, not, being mean to me, just, thinking about it. But, well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story of the Christmas time, 1987, episode 4. Everybody have a great day. It's Wednesday already, and tomorrow is the first day of 8th grade for my son. And good luck to all the parents out there that their kids go back to school. Tomorrow is for my township. I'm sure everybody in different states they might even went back to school already. We start tomorrow. And I got to get, ready today. I got to do, he's got to get back on his Chromebook, and they re-signed a different password. Last time he logged in on that Chromebook, June 21st. Yeah, he didn't do shit all fucking summer, the brain surgeon. I told him, you better fucking start, start freshening up on shit now. The party's over and shit. So, so back to school. I'll have more free time to do shit and everything. And summer's over. That's it. Everybody, all the best, all the respect, and God bless. FGF Productions, everybody. Have a great day. All the love and respect.